All right, welcome to the ADV life. So we're getting ready to go out, spring in Oregon, Ochiko's Black Canyon ride. Take a quick look at the bikes. We have the Gen 1 KLR. Bags packed, ready to go. Enduro tires, nothing special. We have the Tenere Gen 1? Tenere? Gen 1 Tenere. Guards, bags, and a shitload more gear. I don't know if I've quite brought enough stuff, but we have the more advanced dash system on this with the GPS. But Sean is going to ride behind me, so we'll see how that works out. All right, we'll catch you up when we find something interesting. On the road for a little while, we've made the little town of Post. Have a look around. Farm. Road into Post. Post General Store. Road out of Post. So now we're gonna head up the road a little while farther and turn off into the Ochiko National Forest and head for Black Canyon. So we're out here on the way to Black Canyon, and the first problem has arisen as we were coming down through the canyon and heading that way. I started to lose my rear brake, and we've discovered that the bleeder valve seems to be having a small leak, so we're going to try to bleed the brake out and get some brakes restored. But Mergers Creek access area, a couple nice people have shot up the sign that your tax dollars pay for, but we're going to see if we can't solve this problem on the bike and get back on the road. All right, so while we had the tools out, we made two different modifications to the bike. We moved the shifter up so I can fit my boot under it, and we ended up adjusting the brake here so it didn't go down as far, so hopefully I'll have some stopping power. We loosened that up back there, the bleeder, but nothing really came out. So the current plan is to run up the road this way and see what we run into to camp, I believe. So we've had time to get all the major mechanical on the bike sorted out, and while the rear brakes are not working stellar, they are working well enough. As we took off from where we stopped to make repairs, we noticed a truck pulling a trailer with a small excavator coming up the road, and I was able to get pulled over and stopped in a fairly timely manner, which prior to that, coming down the long side of the canyon, the brakes had pretty much went away, and it wasn't the rear bleeder valve as we had suspected. I just had not correctly adjusted the plunger on the brakes, which after this entire ride was done and I got home, before I took everything off the bike, I adjusted that plunger correctly so I had the right amount of brake pressure. But that being said, you can see we're getting into Black Canyon and the sheer walls are coming down to the edge, and of course we're riding the video at double speed. So this is a leisurely ride through the canyon with the river on the left. However, the rocks are emanating so much heat that it's in the 80-degree mark down in this canyon with almost zero wind movement. It's very green and lush, and there seems to be lots of stuff going on, and there's lots of effects up in the canyon that the camera just isn't capturing. There's little pothole caves all over the place, and what look like some deeper caves. There's some canyons that lead into down from the shear walls. It really is a neat place to go take a ride. The road, I don't know whether it was topped with clay or built out of clay or bentonite or whatever, but it seems to have that sort of feel to it. It's dried out, but everything that was in there is fairly crusted in, and I think if this road was wet, it'd be fairly slick. There's some severe grooving in the road and such from vehicles traveling down, and even though I can't really see them, there's quite a few potholes in the road that we either hit or dodged. I don't know that this would be a great drive through in a vehicle, but on an off-road bike, it's wonderful. The only downside to this whole Black Canyon ride is no matter if you come in from the Plina side or if you run through to Dayville and come in from that side, there is a ton of pavement miles that you're going to have to do to get there. There's also a few little roads that offshoot back up into the sides back there that are somewhat steep, rough Jeep trails, and depending on what you like to ride, they were super fun and a nice little respite from the driving down the flat straight road and worrying about cars coming around every corner. As you start to get out of the canyon or go into the canyon from either side, it's a very wide plain with sloping hills and a lot of scenery around, a lot of cool air. The side that we came in, we had a lot of elevation loss dropping down into the canyon, and now that we're in the canyon and mostly through it and going out towards Dayville, the elevation drop seems to steady out. At the end of this trip, we're going to go around and eventually drop back into the canyon and go back out mostly the way we came in and gain a ton of elevation. And what I didn't film in the beginning was the upper road was really wet and sloppy and hard to negotiate, but as you can see, this car going by is throwing up dust, so this end is fairly dry. There was a local rainstorm that came through, and I think it got the top half of the road pretty wet, and it was slick, to say the least. But, great ride, and as you go down farther towards Dayville, the road continues to be improved, one point turning into a nice proper double lane road with gravel, and then eventually onto a pavement road with stripes as the last day we ride into Dayville and go for gas. So we've arrived out here at the camp spot on outside of Black Canyon. We're right up against the John Day South River. Firing over there. Riding boots off. Sean's drinking.
Beverages.
Priorities, man. We're gonna get set up right here for camping, right next to this lovely field we found. And should be a nice night.
Oh, that is...
All right, the tents are up. Chairs are out. Sun's going down. Oh, wow, that came out. And the drinks are about to come out. Another successful day of riding. Welcome to the next day. Sleeping on sleeping pads sucks. It's a little after 6:30 in the morning and I already hear Sean getting shit packed up. So I guess we gotta get this mess cleared up and on the bikes, get breakfast and get going. So this is kind of what nobody shows you on any of their blogging videos, is how messy everything gets when you're trying to tear down camp and you wake up and shit was all covered in dew. I have shit spread out everywhere trying to get it dried before I pack. That's a better angle with the sun in my face. Alright, so with everything packed up, we're getting ready to hit the road again. We're going to try to find Murder's Creek off of Black Canyon and ride that back. Bikes are packed up. Had a little gopher last night trying to excavate out from underneath my tent. We're going to head off that way, farther into the canyon, and then hopefully peel off to the right, ride on the other side of those buttes over there, the other side of that butte, and end up back in the canyon up farther. So we'll see how that goes. Before we take off, I thought I'd get a little shot of this for you, honey, since you couldn't make the trip. I'm not gonna walk all the way out, but there's a bunch of wild rose bushes out here by the river, and a ton more way back there, but with these riding boots on, it's a little hard to walk. Anyway, back to the bikes. I think Sean's got the GPS situation figured out, so we're not doubling back on the same roads that we rode in on. We're gonna be on our way. Oh yeah, might as well do that. Then we don't have to worry about it. So we're starting off this day at about 8 o'clock in the morning on the move. We've got camp demobbed and packed back up on the bikes. We're running a little bit low on fuel, so the current plan is now to ride this road into Jayville, find a gas station, restock on some supplies, and try to hit a different loop, going pretty much back the same way towards Paulina. See some different scenery, do some different stuff. And like I say, as we get down the road here, the road constantly improves the closer into Dayville we get. It's interesting. At one point, it's almost like you're driving down through a little subdivision and then back out on the highway, and we find a little gas station that had some excellent food and some really cool people, and shot a bunch of video there, and when I went to download it, it was all corrupt, so you don't get to see the entertaining folks we met. But we spent about a half hour at the gas station having a second breakfast and getting some water and just hanging out and bullshitting with the locals. It was an interesting time before we head back, and then we come back. We've taken some different side roads and whatnot, and we'll just set the rest of this to music and enjoy. So it's just the end of May, and out here in the forest, I'll say we're 5,000 feet, and it's 81 degrees. So we stopped by this little stream here and got the cooling vest soaked up with water. Try to combat some of the heat fatigue. Get the jackets back on and continue hauling ass down the road. Bike on. we just came from Paulina. Post is 8 miles away. It's so small that if you blink, you'll mix it. Little bridge. Crooked River. Flowing nicely. Super full compared to this time last year. Nice little valleys out here, just all covered with green. I don't know how much they want for this shit, but it'd be a nice place to retire to. Lots of roads to ride and lots of open space. All right, Sean says break's over. We have to go. Such a slave driver.
Get your ass in gear. Beer's at home.
The beer's at home. There you go.
No, it's not. It's at the store.
Beer's at the store. Oh, well.